Hey, welcome back to Babe in Library. It's your girl Lisa, and today I am just doing a weekly catch-up for Noir November. If you're not familiar, if this is your first video that you're seeing, Noir November is a challenge that I have for myself as well as anyone who wants to participate to read books by Black authors with Black main characters, and if you're going to listen to an audiobook, let it be narrated by Black narrators. So I wanted you all to participate in the challenge, like a video. I'll put up some information related to the post here. But without further ado, I told myself I was also going to challenge myself to make shorter videos, so I won't hold you, like the pastor say. But before I get into the two books that I finished so far this week, I have some book mail. So I got some surprise book mail. This was unbeknownst to me, so I am really excited. I'm gonna see if there is a note. Oh, I know exactly what this is. This is a part of a read-along. So Tessa Bailey's new Secretly Yours this is an ARC edition that is traveling around, hosted by Julia at Chicklet is the Shit. So I am very happy to have this in my hands to be able to read it, annotate it, and pass along. So thank you so very much, Julia, for allowing me to be a part of this read-along. This is my one book that I'm breaking my ban for of Noir November, but I am glad to be a part of the read-along. So that being said, the next package I have, Book of the Month. Book of the Month is a monthly subscription. If you're on Instagram or you're on BookTube, you're on TikTok, you are very familiar with this subscription. But this month they had some bangers, and when I tell you some bangers, if I didn't already have pre-ordered a copy of Bloodmark, which is on my Noir November list, you know it'd be in this video. But what I was able to get my hands on is a copy of Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This is my new release. So new release by a Black author. This is a part of my Noir November challenge, and this is what I'm reading for it. I actually have an ARC copy that I was awarded from NetGalley, but I needed to have a physical copy. It is beautiful. I'm excited. This one has been tearing up BookTube, and I know it's going to make me cry, but it's also going to make me binge read Kennedy's Ryan backlist. So I'm happy to have a copy in my hands. I was also able to pick up Someday Maybe by Onyi Nwabineli. I apologize, I probably butchered that name, but again, I want to give it a shot because we need to do better at making sure we're not abbreviating or not saying someone's name at all. So this is something that I'm extremely excited for. If I can kind of squeeze it in, because I really need to make sure that I'm reading my Book of Month copies, I will do so. But this is also going to probably make me cry because this has to do with a character who watched her husband die, and she is trying to cope with the trauma and the grief of that. So look at, again, both of these beautiful copies, stunning Black women with afros on the cover. So this is what I am looking forward to seeing from Book of the Month. You all will see me pick up my Bloodmark special signed edition in the next week's vlog. But if you haven't had a chance to pick up your copies of books from Book of the Month this month, I will put a link below so that way you can get your first edition. The bookmark is If You Were a Book, You'd Be a Classic, and you damn right. So again, trying to keep in the spirit of keeping it short and sweet, I will say I've read two books this week for Noir November. My first book was Coach Me, and that was by Shanora Williams. This is a new to me author, so I've been seeing people read Coach Me or Wanting Mr. Kane, and she has a new one that's out which under the pen name S. Williams, and that is Passion Venom or something like that. But I decided to pick up Coach Me because I'm going to use that in another video as well, related to sports romance. But this time I wanted to get this one under my belt because I was able to find it on audio for Hoopla, and it centers a forbidden or taboo coach and student athlete romance. The coach is Coach Torres. He is 30 years old. He is a Mexican American coach at a Ivy League college, and the main female character is our Black character, Amber. Now, Amber is a freshman. She joins this new college, again, that Ivy League institution we're talking about, and of course, she's the only Black woman on the team. She finds her tribe, right? She finds that her roommate is a Hispanic or Latino woman. She finds another white girl that really pretty much solidifies her clique. But outside of that, she's isolated. There's no other Black woman on the team. They really do hate her because, of course, she's the best. She is the fastest in her 200 meters. She is confident in her abilities, and she's fine, right? And so some of the staff members hate her. Of course, majority on the people on the team, which are white women, they hate her. And she's just here to get her education and run. She's not thinking about anything else. And so you will find that Amber is out here shining as one does when you are a star. And she is facing a lot of backlash and criticism. But lo and behold, she has an ally on the staff in Joaquin. And Joaquin tends to want to stick up for her because he knows what it's like. He's the only diverse member on the staff. He is really hoping to make a difference in these young girls' lives, but he winds up falling in love with Amber. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5. While I wanted to love it, the first 80% of the book, which is the majority of the book, I really did enjoy. But what made it a hard sell for me, is getting to that happily ever after, because it was crammed and forced, at least in my opinion. Again, she starts college as a freshman, so we don't get that happily ever after. They can't really truly be together until she's out of college, and to have to sit through and force those 3 years in a quick span of time just really didn't sell it for me. I loved how they bonded over the loss of their fathers and being able to handle their emotions. They bonded over what it was like to be at that university and to be different from everyone else and still have to put on a brave face when all you want to do is the thing that you love, which is running. Joaquin really had boundaries set in place. When they were at school, they were professional, and he really just wanted to be her coach. And then he was able to shut that off and, be with her and love her. So I really did enjoy it. It was just that getting to the happily ever after that wrapped up way too quickly, way too nice, and I just couldn't give it that vibe of a 4 or a 5 star. So I would encourage anyone that is interested in the story to pick it up. It is a worthy read. I started it in audio, but I'll be totally honest, I hated Joaquin's character voice by the person that narrated him, so I finished it in digital format. So pick it up however you best consume media. For my second book, this was a 5 star. This is going to be Confessions in B Flat by Donna Hill. I finished it today, and this is going to account for my historical fiction. I picked this up on a whim in Brooklyn at a Black-owned book stop. So again, Coffee and Books. If you are ever in Brooklyn, this is at 2024 Bedford Avenue. Check them out. I picked this up. It had been on my TBR or my want to read list, but I'll be totally honest, I hadn't seen anyone talk about it. It wasn't in my local library. I just found it on Hoopla in audio format, so I wouldn't have even thought to look there. This probably would have never been read had I not seen it in the bookstore and decided to give it a try. This is the author calls it a Romeo and Juliet story, but it is a civil rights love story, which is how it's titled on the book. Baby, this put me through the ringer. It is enriched with history. That is where my orange tabs come in. It is about a young woman who follows the preachings and is a mentee of Malcolm X, and she meets Jason, who is a mentee of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and it's their love story, having two warring ideologies, fighting for Black people, but having different ways of going about it. It spans so much, right? You get to see the bombing of the Birmingham, Alabama church. It talks about the death of Malcolm X. You've got historical references such as using a payphone, which has, you know, that cozy, charming, you know, warm hug feel of embracing Black history, Black culture, and I absolutely loved it. I will say I've seen some critiques of certain time era references that would not have been true of 1963, but if you can look past that and see this love story for what it is, a truly walk down historic lane and fighting for love and happiness and the freedom of Black folks, I think it is highly worth a read. Again, 5 out of 5 stars for me. Next will be, hopefully it's going to be Before I Let Go. So Anne A.E. Valdez, I have an arc from her, Worthy of Love. So those will probably be my next week reads for Noir November. If you are participating in the Noir November challenge, drop what you plan on reading in the description below. Outside of that, I'm going to ask you to have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all next week. Bye.